Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the channel. This is Vostik here, and I'm just going to bring you a little bit of details about the Star Wars The Old Republic. Now, I know a lot of people are trying to hurry and get Christmas presents and things of that nature because it is the holidays, and as you can see behind me here, I have my tree and set up ready to go, and cannot wait for old Saint Nick to visit me and bring me lots of goodies to keep me occupied for at least 2 days. But there is a lot about this game that I want to talk about, and I only have a short amount of time to do so. So hopefully I can ease your mind and help you get into it, maybe even purchase it for yourself or someone else. The first thing I want to talk about with Star Wars The Old Republic is the graphics. Now, as a game, it has the absolute best MMORPG graphics that I have seen yet. Now, what I mean by this is the best graphics I've seen on an MMO is, you know, we think of games like Skyrim, Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect. They've got amazing graphic engines, but they only have that single player detail. It entwines great graphics, a great game engine, a lot of storyline and lore behind it, and the ability to play with your friends and go up against those people that you just absolutely can't stand. My favorite thing about the Star Wars The Old Republic Beta was when I hit level 10, I got to specialize into my character. And each class has 2 specializations. Once you can do that, you actually get a quest to start doing PvP. Once you start doing PvP, it's absolutely awesome. I cannot wait to start doing PvP, and I have never been a PvP hardcore person in like previous MMOs, but this one here, I really consider myself to be a PvP fan of the Star Wars The Old Republic. There was 3 types of PvP that I encountered during my beta, and there may be more than that, but I haven't had a lot of time in the game, so I may not be able to present all of them to you. But there was 3 individual ones that I'd like to mention. There was a sort of a rush effect, sort of like Battlefield 3, where there's 2 divisions that you can go into, and you have to plant a bomb, it explodes, and then you can go forward until you reach the end, and then that's the end of the round, and then it switches up. So they've got a Battlefield 3 rush feel to it for one of them. The second game type in the player versus player that I've seen was the Domination from the Call of Duty type series, which is 3 capture points on the map, and your team had to work together in order to hold at least 2 of those to win. If you hold all 3, you just embarrass your teammates, but you can get away with 2. So you have to have teamwork in this game. And the third and final player versus player game setup that I've seen is called Huttball. Now Huttball is built like football, which is there's 1 ball in the middle. Now you have to go over obstacles, there's flames coming up out of the ground, you have to time with lava pits, and even the enemy players that you have to worry about. So you have to work well with your team in this. That's why it makes it so exciting, because there's so many opportunities here for you to score the ball. You can be a loner and run it all the way. You can dominate your teammates, take the ball from them and then run it in. Or you can pass it off to an unsuspecting teammate that may be nearby when you're about to die. And you can coordinate your team to get the points on the board. At the end of the game, the person or the team with the most points will win. One thing I've liked really about the scoreboard system for the player versus player is they've enabled an ability to vote on a most valuable player for your team. Which means at the end of the game, if a teammate has just really shined through or really done the best or put it in clutch situations, you can vote for them, and at the end, whoever has the most votes is going to get an XP bonus. Now, that may be just enough to level a person up, so you have to try to help your teammates out, and your friends especially, so coordinate with them, do your best, and you never know, you may get that XP you need to get to that next level. Talking about the dungeon system in Star Wars, I didn't get to see a whole lot because I only played it for a short period of time. I only seen 1 dungeon, and I've done it both ways with 4 people and 2 people. Now to do it with 4 people, you're not allowed to have your companion inside the dungeon with you, which is fine because you can communicate with them and they can react a lot faster. But if it's just a bad time of the night, or you're really not social interactive, you can go in with 1 other person and use your companions to make a 4-man group to get the dungeon done. Now inside the dungeon there's a lot of things that you can do. Side quests, the storyline, the lore, even the choices that you have, you can still make all of that stuff happen. So the dungeons aren't extremely boring like World of Warcraft where you go in and kill shit, get your loot and get out. Be methodical, work with your teammates, do your side quest, and pay attention to the lore and storyline because you may miss something that's extremely important. With going through the entire dungeon, killing everything that's possible, doing all the side quests, you have the opportunity to acquire a lot of nice items. One thing that I did not see in this game that I really was looking for, and maybe it's out there, I just didn't find it, was the trade system. Now I know that we have general chat, party chat, and yelling out loud in these towns. I want to be able to put an option up while I'm asleep. It makes money for me. That way when I come back the next day, I can get my money and go on about my game, and I'm not sitting there spamming trade chat the entire time. So if there is a trade system and I'm unaware of it, please let me know. because I am dying to make that extra money. The absolute biggest question for me with this game is the in-game system. Now, what that means is, are they going to present a lot of stuff to us to keep us occupied in the game like World of Warcraft did? Or is there going to be 1 or 2 raids and then just the random PvP that you want to do? Now, one of the biggest hurdles that this game has to overcome is the in-game content. Now, what that means is, what are they going to bring to us at the end of level 50? Are they going to keep us having something to do? Are they going to release higher level caps? Or even more dungeons with new game content like weapons, armor, quest, mounts, whatever? Are those things going to be available to us and keep us occupied? Because if not, the game's going to flake out like Rift did, or even Guild Wars, or Aeon, or whatever else. Let's face it, we're tired of seeing World of Warcraft with the same content just renewed and refreshed. So hopefully, with the background that Star Wars has, LucasArts and BioWare, they can keep us occupied with a lot of in-game content. Because if they do, I really see myself being socially fucked for the next couple of months, and I don't see myself getting out of the computer desk for a long time. So, if you're taking anybody's impression on this game, take mine. It's an awesome game so far, and from what I've seen, they've done a lot of homework and a lot of work on it, and I see myself playing this shit out of it. So I hope to see you guys on the battlefield, and hopefully you're on my team, because if not, I'm just going to run my lightsaber through you. Anyway, thanks for sticking in here, guys. This is Vostik. I love y'all to death, and can't wait to see you next episode.